Hello, I don't know what YouTube channel I'm gonna upload this on, but I'm making this video basically because I'm bored and because I think this is a kind of common question. Why is Netflix or Disney Plus or HBO Max or Paramount Plus or, you know, Pornhub minus, I don't know. Why is there no streaming services besides Hulu on the Switch? So I'm going to go through some non answers first because there is no official answer. Well, the official answer given by Nintendo is that they want to make the Switch a gaming first platform, which makes zero sense. I mean, the 3DS had Netflix support. The Vita had Netflix support. Those are gaming first platforms. I mean, the PS4, their whole draw was that it was a gaming first platform. PS4 has Netflix. PS5 has Netflix. People have Netflix baked into their TVs. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X, they don't really need Netflix. It's just nice to have. But they have Netflix. I consider both of those to be gaming first platforms, especially when you consider Xbox's botched launch of the Xbox One. For the Series X, they want, a very dedicated, gaming first platform, yet that has Netflix. I think they have Spotify too. You can't get Spotify on the Switch, so that's a bullshit response. They're covering up something that they don't want public, probably for business reasons, or because they don't want fans bitching at them. But I think they deserve to be bitched at a bit. Um, so here's some things you might have in mind. The Switch is a considerably weaker console. Maybe it can't do. Maybe it just isn't powerful enough to run Netflix. Well, no, that's wrong because the 3DS could run Netflix, and the Switch runs circles around the 3DS. Not to mention the Wii. The PS2 had Netflix, so that's not right. For the more tech savvy people out there, well, a question you might have is maybe the dock doesn't support HDCP, which stands, I believe, for high definition copy protection. It's what it sounds like. It protects content from being recorded from HDMI. Like in the olden days, people would record TV onto VHS tapes, but nowadays there are, I guess, preventative measures so you can't record something on Netflix or Hulu onto a Blu-ray disc or a DVD, despite the fact that literally nobody does that anymore. But it's still baked into, most devices, Blu-ray players, game consoles. But the Switch, being a gaming first platform, maybe doesn't have that ability, but it does. Hulu is on the Switch, and Hulu definitely requires HDCP. And that means the Switch has to support HDCP. And you can even see some forum posts. I just clicked off of it. A forum post from 4 years ago that's talking about actually trouble people had because when you go on Hulu on your Switch, it turns on HDCP mode, which blocks out capture cards and the such. And people are like, "Oh, I went on Hulu and now my Switch doesn't work with my capture card." So, yeah, it obviously does have HDCP. And I guess the follow up question for that would be, oh, maybe the HDCP implementation on Switch is faulty. Um, so Netflix doesn't want to be associated with that, which I think is kind of bullshit. HDCP on the whole is a faulty system that sucks. So I don't think Netflix really minds. I don't think the content providers really mind. And this is a forum post from 4 years ago, commenting on a little bug. So I doubt that it's even still a problem after all of the updates. Um, but if you do have that problem, the solution is apparently just unplug the HDMI cable from the dock and plug it back in. So if you were watching Hulu on your Switch and your capture card doesn't work anymore, just unplug it, replug it back in, it should work. But that does prove that there's an HDCP mode baked into the dock. Um, Further proof that the Switch treats Hulu differently than their other apps and games, including YouTube, is when you are on Hulu, try going to the home screen and look at your profile. It won't even show up as a game that you're playing. So not only, Nintendo says that they're a gaming first platform, but obviously they have a special mode carved out for HDCP content. They have an HDCP mode on the dock. They have a special, I guess, streaming mode, so it doesn't show up on your profile or whatever. Um, it's also not because of, the function where you can capture video, because there are even games that do not support that function, and of course Hulu doesn't support that function, and every other console in the market has that function. So hardware wise, not only is the Switch able to play or run these apps, these streaming apps, Nintendo has accounted for it, and they even, made certain amenities for Hulu in particular. YouTube actually doesn't use this mode, but if you try Hulu, you can see. So, okay, Nintendo's whole gaming first platform's a lie. It can play the apps. So what's going on here? Well, I have a theory. Netflix, I don't think, has commented on this, but and there's probably a reason why. My theory is the dock, honestly. And again, it's not a hardware thing, but it's more of a use case thing. I think that Netflix doesn't like the fact that you can log into Netflix onto your Switch and just bring it over to a friend's house and just plug it in, and it'll just work like that. Now, of course, I know that profile sharing is a thing, and I know that HDMI cords are a thing. You can just plug your laptop in, but this seems kind of different to me. Of course, the HDMI cord thing is kind of janky, just to have a cord laying out there. And I know a lot of people who don't even know what the hell HDMI is, but they know you plug it in Nintendo Switch into the TV and it just works. So I guess it kind of opens the door to more the casual market, I guess. And it's just a lot cleaner than profile sharing. Profile sharing is kind of clunky. And just doing it, you feel like you're doing something wrong, and Netflix obviously doesn't condone it, or they condone it but only in moderation. That's really the only reason I can think of, because again, it's not a problem with the distributors of the content, because again, Hulu doesn't have a problem with it. That's really the only reason I can think of. And you're like, well, that's petty and stupid. Well, so is the copy protection that these streaming services use. So I don't think they really care about what's petty and stupid. They care about their bottom line. And I think just being able to bring the Switch to a friend's house and just be able to watch content on somebody else's screen, just like that, I think that makes a lot of services uncomfortable. Because if you think about it, there's really no other good excuse. Like, the Switch has just surpassed the Wii in sales numbers. So there's a lot of Switches plugged into TVs. And again, it's not that, what does Netflix have to lose in making a Wii app? They had a fucking app for the 3DS. Who watched Netflix on their 3DS? What's the point in that? You should definitely have I feel like a Switch app would be a lot more useful. Being able to watch something on your Switch and then just plug it into the TV and just, I think that would be a lot more useful, actually. So honestly, that's probably it. Just to recap, hardware can support it. Nintendo has special software parameters to support it. which debunks their claim that the Switch is a gaming first platform, because Nintendo themselves have accounted for streaming services like Hulu. Um, and there's an install base. There's enough of an install base to warrant it, at the very least. I honestly just think it's that. Um, and of course, I guess the question is, why is Hulu on there? Um, if you look on Hulu, Nintendo has actually sponsored them. You can even see like it says, "Oh, presented by Nintendo Switch." So I think maybe Nintendo paid Hulu to have it on there. Um, Maybe. Obviously, they have a working relationship. Netflix usually doesn't fuck with that kind of stuff, and most of the other streaming services don't really fuck with that kind of stuff. So I guess Hulu was the only one they could buy out. Um, so yeah, that's it's stupid and it's annoying, because I wish I could have Hulu, Netflix and Amazon Prime on my Switch, because it would be cool to be able to watch something, and then just on your bed, and then you just decide, oh, I'm gonna watch this on the TV, just plug it in. So yeah, yeah, I guess that's it. So thank you guys for watching the stupid video I made. Uh, yeah, petition Netflix, guys. Go email Mr. Netflix telling him to put it on the Switch, but I doubt. I mean, they're raising their prices. They're going to lose a lot of subscribers. Maybe you can say, well, if we have like a change.org petition, like, hey, maybe we won't unsubscribe if we have Nintendo Switch support. But, whatever you want to do. Alright, see ya.